So here I am on the beginning of my drift, which was supposed to be driving outer drive, but things change, just like I guess drifting makes things change, or you just go with the drift. I'm driving from my parents' place up in Macomb Township, Macomb County. And I decided, instead of listening to my GPS in the rental car, I decided I want to go down by Jefferson by the Detroit River and Lake St. Clair, because that's an interesting road and you get to go by the water. So I'm going to hopefully find that, keep my voice recorder on. And I don't even think this is recording. Or maybe it is recording. So that's good. So here I am. I'm just going to keep this on, and I'm just going to talk like I do to myself in the car. But
right turn on North Avenue in 0.5.
And you'll hear the GPS because it's continuing to tell me where to go down to the Kunsthal in Detroit. But we'll see what happens once I hopefully find the road by the water, which I was on yesterday, which was great. My mom wanted to go to this place called the St. Clair Inn for like the past 30 years, and they have never gone. So I was like, well, let's go. So I got to do a little controlled drifting with my parents yesterday, so that was pretty cool. I think they ended up having fun, so that's always a bonus. So I'm on 21 Mile Road right now, headed down, first headed east, and then I'll go head southward. What I'm going through now, it's kind of cool. You can see these houses are built in like the 40s or so, and really the suburban blight hasn't attacked this area too much. Randomly, like, you look to the left and a road that's paved just on the other side of the road is a dirt road, and there's still farms up here, which is really cool because years ago I never thought this existed. I just always thought of the Detroit metro area as this crappy rundown city of Detroit, and then you got the suburbs, which is just a strip mall after a strip mall after this contrived suburban development area, and it all just looks the same corner after corner. So it's been really cool the past few years. I've come up here because my parents are up here, like, to see that there's actually older houses. It's not all a CVS pharmacy on the corner like I'm passing now on Gratiot Avenue and 21 Mile, which I think I'm pretty close to the lake, I think. Could go down Gratiot. Let's see, I could. It wouldn't be a drift if I wasn't going to do that. But I go ahead with purpose. I think I'll pause this for now. See you in a few minutes. So here I am back again on the drift. It's 11:48. Headed towards Port Huron Way. Wanted to pick up on something I did yesterday. I mentioned I had lunch with my parents. We got to go to the St. Clair Inn, which my mom always wanted to go to. And we ended up going to a house I grew up in for like a year in Marysville, which is up by Lake St. Clair Way. And it was great. It was like I got to see where I lived for like a year, and my mom's like, you remember this, you remember that? And I'm like, no, I was like 2 or 3 years old. And she had such nostalgia. And I just was like, yeah, that's a house. And I live there. And it's just funny to be in this place that I have no attachment to. I guess which is funny because I find this attachment I have to Detroit in some way, of Detroit City, which I never lived in the city, like, you know, downtown or 7 Mile Road. But I was born in St. John's on the east side of Detroit. And I just have this, I'm approaching Jefferson Avenue. So I am at the lake. I've made my destination. So Jefferson goes all the way down to Detroit. And I think I'll find some interesting things here. But back to a sense of self and place and pride. I don't really have too much pride. I don't have really memories of where I'm from. I take that back. I have memories, but I don't care. I don't feel any affinity towards houses I've lived in or apartments I've lived in, places I've gone or whatever. But I have this pride about being from Detroit, and I can't tell anyone why. I don't really know.
Jefferson Avenue in 0.
And being here in the past few days has just kind of reinforced that pride in a way. And there's this tragedy of Detroit that's also beautiful, and that sounds a bit melodramatic and contrived, but I think it's true. Okay, I'm coming to a fork in the road and I have to make a decision. I'll take the road less traveled. Whoa, where am I going? What is this?
Calculating route.
I went the wrong way on something. I don't want to go. I don't know what this is. Oh, here's to drifting.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
This isn't right. I want to go to 94. What am I doing? And I can't make a left-hand turn. This is fine. This is fun. I need to make an illegal U-turn someplace. Wow. So this is great. I have GPS on, but I'm not using it, which is kind of cool. It's just turned out really low, and I already kind of got lost because I'm talking and driving, which I guess is dangerous because my attention's partially on what I'm saying and looking and talking. Watch out,
Left turn
Michigan.
on 21 Mile Road in 0.5 miles.
This is really funny. I just have to go in this parking lot, which I've decided I'm turning into this deli liquor place. That's all that seems to be in Detroit, is you can get beer, go to church, and there's a lot of auto wreckage places, which is pretty funny. Not a lot of car dealerships until you get up in the mile roads a little bit, like, seems like past 8 Mile Road. Yeah.
Calculating route.
What is this? A&G, Selfridge A&G.
Approaching right turn on Jefferson Avenue.
Oh man.
Freeway entrance on the right in 1.4 miles.
Oh, I want to stay on Jefferson. Oh, I was here yesterday. Yeah, cool. We're going by an old... I am going by an old Army base, an Air Force base here, and there's a bunch of the old planes out in this airfield. So I'm on the Russo Highway by I-94. I never knew this was here. It's kind of cool. Oh, I want Jefferson. How do I get to Jefferson? This is crazy. Keeper and live by the side of the sea. Well, I will find. Oh, I'm on Hall Road now. I'm going to find Jefferson again.
Entrance on the right in 0.5 miles.
There has to be a way. So, going back to my I wanted to drive outer drive, Jefferson, even though it's a street, seems to be just as elusive. This is me gunning a stoplight. Jefferson Avenue seems to be elusive. Before I was trying to go follow Jefferson, it seemed like I had to pay a toll. Like, I don't think so, thank you. So now I'm going on 94 just because I stink. But I guess this is part of the drift. In a car. So how Detroitian is it that I'm drifting in a car? Next thing you know, I'll be buying a home in the suburbs and going to drive-thrus like the rest of America. More scathing commentary to follow. I was just reminded of a saying, I think it's in the Balinese in Bali, where the native peoples and the native tongue, at least back when it wasn't exploited by the West, there was a different sense of space and time where it wasn't really about now and having a concept of now. And I think it's the Balinese, where it was time was referenced in where are you going and where have you been, and nothing about like the now. Which I guess in itself it's just semantics, because now is part of future and past, and now is only now, and that now is gone and that's part of the past. So I guess it's an interesting way of looking at things, but right now I guess I'm looking into the future of where am I going. I know where I'm going, my destination's a Kunsthal, but right now it's about the where am I going, which is the now. And then once I get to the Kunsthal, I guess I could talk about where I've been. And when you think about it, this drift is not that exquisite. I'm in a car on a boring highway, thanks car culture, thanks Detroit, kind of just going past the world, and the world all looks the same from a highway. At least to me. Though I was marveling how this area and being up by the lakes, because this is the Great Lakes region, I spent some time near Buffalo, and I'd visit Buffalo, enough. It looks the same, and it's quite stunning to see the landscape up here, and even in Detroit, the Great Lakes give you this beautiful, the clouds, the skies. There's something about the Great Lakes in this time of year and in the spring that the skies are blue and expansive, and they're big skies. And there's definitely not a lot of hills out here, or any mountains, of course. And it's beautiful, and I never used to think about Michigan and this area as being beautiful. I always used to see ugliness. And yesterday I thought of my time over in Western New York, which I always hated, but as I went away and have gone back, I saw beauty in the landscape. And now, yesterday, being on Lake St. Clair, and I saw these parallels, and I finally saw beauty, like natural beauty, in Detroit, and in this area, which I always used to be like, oh, Mom and Dad, you're living up in Macomb, it's just like so flat, and blah, blah, blah. So I guess I had a little bit of a, not revelation, but a nice turn, a nice appreciation of a place, and looking at two places that I never really liked. So Western New York and here in the thumbish area of Michigan. So that's interesting. I have to wonder, is it healthy? I'm just like talking to myself, but talking to a voice recorder via my phone, and it makes me wonder, I'm regurgitating this stuff, and will anyone ever hear it? But does that really matter? I guess it doesn't. So I'm on 94, and I'm gonna find, I think the next exit I'll just get off, like I'll hit another mile road and head east towards the water again. And that's the beautiful thing, is you're gonna hit water, so you know you can either go up or down once you're there, or you try to make your car amphibious and go to Canada. But I didn't bring my passport, so whoops. So I'm gonna get off on exit 235 Shook Road. Yeah, you shook me all night long. I'm not sure where this is gonna take me, but thanks to GPS, all roads lead to Warren and Grand River Avenue. Oh man, Shook Road. Shoot. Let's see. I don't know where I'm going. Yeah. Okay. And I'm sure Shook Road is really like 20, well, obviously I went more than 2 miles there. Port Huron. This is one thing I kind of miss about driving. I don't really drive in the city too much. I can't stand it. It's a pain in the butt. But of kind of just going and finding a place, who knows what it could be. Suddenly you can just happen upon a great park or restaurant or whatever. Like right now I see people riding a bike. It seems like a bike lane. Yes, I see a sign for Jefferson Avenue, see? You're going to hit Jefferson if you head east and you're in the Detroit area. So look, there's a bike lane. That's so cool.
Calculating route.
And just like when you're in Detroit, if you're going somewhere, all roads lead to Outer Drive. This person won't let me go. Now there's cyclists here on the road. There's a bike path over there, and I guess you're supposed to share the road, but yeah, okay. So it appears I'm on Jefferson Avenue. Oh, if I look to the left, I can vaguely see I guess it's the, I don't know if it's the lake or the river up here. I'm approaching 11 Mile Road in 3 miles. So this is cool. So I can't see any of the water, like I can barely see it. And there's some pretty cute houses up here, really well kept. That's nice. And there's just a really disgusting mailbox that was shaped like a dog that I passed. Ooh. So what's cool is I'm going to go through Grosse Pointe. That's always nice to go by the waterfront and see the old homes. I guess I'll blab about that when I get there. If I get there. was I saying before? To finish my statement, I do miss drifting in a car and just going and doing things. So this is pretty cool. I guess it's more cool than my planned outer drive trip because I really planned that out. I was online, I mapped it out, like I needed to get a sense of place because that's the way my mind works. I like to see a map and visualize it to understand which direction I'm going and what it looks like from a macro perspective, like an overhead eagle eye perspective. And right now, like, I know I'm traveling against the water, but I still, like, I've never been in Jefferson, so this is kind of new. Woohoo! The really terrible thing is, you know, this isn't good for the environment. Leisure drifting in a car. Like, whatever happened, do people still do Sunday drives? I used to do those when I lived in Western New York because that's, you know, you had a car and you had to drive places. It really wasn't someplace you'd get a bike and be like, hey, let's go shopping, and shopping meant you had to drive 30 minutes. At least the area I was living in. So we'd go driving a lot. And I just have to say, again, I don't know who's going to hear this. I guess it doesn't matter. I never said my name either, so I do miss drives with, it was my partner, boyfriend at the time. God, we just have sex in the car, like oral sex. We'd pull over and have sex. I mean, that's what Sunday drives were for us often. And you know what? I don't regret it. It was great. And talk about a leisurely Sunday drive. But c'est la vie. Haha. I have no sense of time because you fly out and whatever. Today is Sunday, so I am taking a leisurely Sunday drive, going about 40 miles per hour right now, in a 35 mile per hour zone. But seeing how I haven't seen a cop since I left my parents' condo, I think I'm in the clear. We shall see. Roadkill splotches on the road. Ooh. I'm hitting 12 Mile. And since I'm right by the lake, nice to see Property Valley. Like, the houses are pretty nice here. I'm just passing some, I guess, apartments, condos. Not the nicest architecture, but it's well kept and really nice. So that's cool. I'm going to continue to ignore GPS. I want to drive down Jefferson a little bit, go through downtown, which I've never done that. I usually I've been on Jefferson downtown, because, go to Belle Isle and things like that. Yeah, I'm going to just cruise that and see it a little bit, and then head to the Kunsthal. It's 12:07 now. Passing yet again another church, like most of them up here, looks like it was built in the 60s with that sweeping, pointy architecture. Brick, of course, Michigan brick. That fucking brick is everywhere. Like, where was the brick factory?
Right turn on East 11 Mile Road in 0.5.
I don't know. Maybe I should get in the brick business, make a lot of money. Just like in New York, I should get in the scaffolding business. God knows they own New York. I've been blabbing for 20 minutes so far. God, time flies.
Approaching right turn on East 11 Mile
11 Mile. All right, now,
Calculating route.
we still in Jefferson? Now the houses are getting more into the raised ranch.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
Let's see. Yeah, still, I say the 60s. And I think that's the last time there was really the build out of this area. The 60s. God, one of the homes I lived in for the most time in my life, and I was, a kid to early teens, was a raised ranch colonial. So a raised ranch masquerading as a colonial. God, I hate artifice. It's like, why didn't you get the real thing? And this is not knocking my parents, like they had to move and find a place, but why would you make something look like something it's not? Like, if you're gonna make a ceramic tile look like concrete, why don't you use concrete? It's kind of annoying, like the integrity of things.
Right turn on East 10 Mile Road in 0.5 miles.
Okay, I can see some snippets of the lake. There's a fence here. There's some cute, still well-kept homes here. So we're by, 10 mile? And I think we'll see it. I'll still have to hit Grosse Pointe. How do I get there? I think I'm missing part of the road.
Approaching right turn on East 10 Mile Road.
Woohoo, East 10 Mile Road. I should have marked down. The other thing I think is really cool here, even though you get winter here, obviously, and you're on the Great Lakes, so you get this exposure, but that's fresh water.
Calculating route.
There's so many old businesses and signs, like signs from the 50s, I'm sure I'll pass one soon, like a motel that still says, oh, we have air conditioning and a remote control, or what have you, and it's an old sign that still looks amazing. Okay, here's Maestro's ice cream and frozen yogurt. Like, that looks like it's from the 60s.
Hard right turn on East 9 Mile Road in 0.5 miles.
I don't, is that a sign that, people still hold on to the past by even keeping those signs? Are you preserving history? Or, are you living in the past? Are you refusing to move forward? I wonder what that's all about, just by thinking about these signs. And I've been kicking myself for not bringing my real camera, as I call it, because I love to take pictures of signs, old signs. Am I onto something here? I don't know.
Right turn on East 9 Mile Road.
Oh, shoot. I should have. This is funny, this is when I wish you had your partner to help you navigate, because I have to pay attention on driving and not hitting anybody, but I really want to hit that Grosse Pointe area.
On Martyr Road in 0.3 miles. Approaching right turn on Martyr Road.
Alright, here's I'll call it a meridian, a median in the street with trees. So maybe it's going to get a bit more posh here, at least tree-lined street. With pretty ugly looking condos.
Calculating route.
I'm such a snob. Oh sweet, there's a community pool, or
Right turn.
country club, I don't know, to my left.
Road in 1.7
People
miles.
swimming. It's quite nice. Still these ugly ranch homes. Well kept, mind you, very well kept. But ugly architecture in my book from the 60s, 50s, 60s, I'd say. I'm hitting Grosse Pointe Shores village limit, so here we go, yay. Oh, did you hear how the road, it's all smoothly paved here too? But dang. I think I'm just passing Edsel Ford's house, if I remember correctly. Pretty sweet. Now I think it's turned into a bed and breakfast. I think that was it. Imagine being Edsel and having that mistake of a car that was named after you. Like, I don't think that Edsel car did very well. Like, ugh. Terrible. Imagine having to live up to the legacy of your... Edsel was the son of Henry Ford, I think? Your grandson. But imagine having to live up to that reputation of your predecessors. And what if you just wanted to be whatever? Like, you have the money, I just want to be this... Was it flâneur? A dandy and wander through Europe and go to art school, or I don't know, be an accountant. Why not? But you got to take care of the family business. And then you get this shitty freeway named after you in Detroit, and a shitty car. There maps your history. So here we are, just kind of going through decent, well-kept homes. More ranches.
0.5 miles.
Tree-lined street, very pretty. I can't see the water, of course, because, you know, you buy the property, get the water view. I'm 14 miles away from the Kunsthal. So isn't that cool? 14 miles, and here I am with these green, perfect lawns, probably sprayed with chemicals. The way I do see crabgrass. There's another pool. It's a beautiful July day. Nice to be in a beautiful pool with a view of the lake. So cool. Why not just swim in the lake? Oh, so totally cool. Now I get a nice view of the water. A nice vista. And there's boats out. People are really enjoying the day today. And I see a freighter too. That's cool. So that probably came down from Canada.
Calculating route.
At the end of this, I want a martini. It's been quite a while since I had one. It's like top off such a wonderful day. Whoop. Yep, okay. I follow you. Avoided a fatal collision here.
The highlighted route.
So look at these beautiful houses. There's kind of a classic mock Tudor style done. That's was pretty popular in the architecture here in the 1920s, 30s, whatever. Really nice, and I usually hate that, but it looks nice here. And there's some columns. Like, it does work. There's a mistake from the 60s, kind of modern. Oh, these are beautiful homes. Beautiful, beautiful. Very nice. Architecturally speaking, very nice. And I think it's funny that ooh, that's a terrible looking home. The American aesthetic, how for so many years and years and years, we as a culture copied other, say, the Greco-Roman revival, what is it, like the Federalist style, which was influenced by the Greco aesthetic. A few references here to like the Mediterranean style, but not, it doesn't look too out of place. The Tudor style. So I don't know, like, as a culture we combined all these styles together and we're left with ranch homes. Of course, that was mid-century modern when everyone thought that plywood was the answer to great design and affordability. And then we just get IKEA, which is from, what is that, Sweden? And you get this mishmash of stuff and you end up with what? Like raised ranch homes and McMansions. Like, what is the American aesthetic? Is that, I guess I just answered my question. It's a hodgepodge of crap.
Right turn on Moros Road in 0.
I guess that could be a nice conversation in itself. Too bad I'm just here alone, talking with myself into a voice recorder, going by these beautiful homes. The grass is green and the sun is out, and God, what is this part? The lake, the Detroit River, whatever. It looks beautiful. And though we're in Grosse Pointe, I see crabgrass. Maybe they've adopted organic methods of lawn care, which I highly doubt.
Approaching right turn on Moros Road.
Hitting my first stoplight in quite a long time. So I'm on Lakeshore Road, which I believe is Jefferson in disguise, because Jefferson goes like way down towards like Ecorse, which is by the international airport. So pretty.
Calculating route.
It's just so tragic. You have this beautiful waterfront and like Belle Isle, which I remember as a girl vaguely being used, but my parents used to go there. People still race boats there and do things, but it's just not what it used to be. Belle Isle is this great island right in the Detroit River that's used for, sporting. There's so many cool things here.
To the highlighted route.
And like I referenced earlier, the temperature, it's not the worst place to live. Like, you still have these signs left over from the 40s and 50s and 60s. People have carports out here. Not everyone uses garages, so obviously the climate's not the worst thing in the world, like snow-wise and all that. It's got a lot going for it. So I believe I see Canada across the water. I'm passing the Grosse Pointe Academy, which is now enrolling. Chartered in 1885. How's that for giving us a sense of place and time? I wonder if I could live here. Not just Grosse Pointe. I think I could. I don't know what I'd do. What would I want to do? I think I want to be really involved in the community. And how do you insert yourself that way? I'm not the most outgoing person, but, I do care. Am I too cautious to live in Detroit? I don't know. I don't know. Can someone like me live in a place that needs help, and help as a sense of caring and not being fearful, and actually reaching out and leaning in, as it were? I could, I guess, why not? I guess you just give it a try. Ugly house to my left with this white brick. Ugh. What were you thinking? What happened to zoning laws? But of course, that's my aesthetic. Or not my aesthetic. Grosse Pointe War Memorial. Wow, this is a big-ass church. Grosse Pointe Memorial Church. That's pretty impressive. I bet there's been a lot of highfalutin weddings there. Oh, going by some gated community. Nice. So I just got into the city of Grosse Pointe, established in 1893. 12 miles away from the Kunsthal. So, so far on the waterfront, all has been well. Every place I've driven through, by, whatever, has been well kept. I've been, of course, in the Grosse Pointe area. I've seen, there's a guy with his golden retriever and the baby stroller. I've seen people walking around. Here's more people walking. So that's cool. I'm actually seeing people. But again, it's been looking really nice up from, 21 mile road, 22 mile. Cadu French Road. Never mind. So this place was heavily influenced by the French. Of course, we have Quebec, and what happened in the Indian French War, right? All the back when the heck was that? With, remember beaver trapping being a huge thing. Which, by the way, beavers are supposedly coming back to the Detroit River. Like, how cool is that? But the sense of history this place has, like Detroit is Detroit. How many people know that? How many people think about what this city was built on, where it comes from in its history? And I think people only see what's happened in the past 30 years, 40 years, and why can't we look back and beyond and think about everything and move forward and stop wallowing in this recent history? And going back to what I was saying about the landscaping and finding a new appreciation for the way this, God, I'm looking up at the sky. It's beautiful.
Right turn on Connor Street in 2 miles.
You have the beautiful sky reflecting off the water, vice versa. And the light here is really cool. I mean, albeit the Great Lakes in the winter, it's kind of drab and gray, but that's winter. The light here is so bright. Passing another Tudor-style home. "10 miles from the Kunsthal." And it's just so posh and beautiful, beautiful flowers. Unfortunately, some Japanese barberry to my left, which is a native and non-native and potentially invasive plant, but many people don't know that. Hosta is also from China. Sorry, it's a little tirade of mine. I'm getting into native plantings. Okay, crossing Somerset, a blinking light. I think it's going to start going downhill slowly from here. But, okay, there's a gas station. There's a little downtownish area here. Village wine shop and a pharmacy. I have not seen any of that. Okay, I think we're going downhill. Municipal offices. Well, that looks well kept. Yeah, now I see just across the way here is the start of a downtownish area. And just to sound, well, this is an observation. So I see a man of color hanging out in front of this building, which seems to actually have business in it. So here I am. This is what? Alter Street. It's like that literal divide. There's a literal divide here. Now I see people hanging out, waiting at the bus stop. I didn't see any bus stops in Grosse Pointe, or they were well hidden. Sweet, there's a bait shop. And a beautiful building that's abandoned. Oh. So here it starts, the literal divide. So at the tax base, I don't know, it's just crazy. My first beer and ATM liquor wine place, I haven't seen those at all. But this is cool. I'm seeing mixed races here still, so that's good. Ugh, all boarded up. Lakewood. and Jefferson. Newport Road, all boarded up. That beautiful like 30s to 50s architecture, classic. Think of like the way gas stations look. Why do I remember this plaza? I'm gonna get over here. I've been following this yellow car for a while. It's just so sad. Like you can
turn on Connor Street in 0.5
Connor Street.
miles.
Yeah, I'm super close to the Kunsthal. Like, look at this. And of course there's a CVS. So you need your meds that you're getting off of. Made me just shut up. And I love it. There's still trees on the sidewalk, and they're new actually. So someone actually kind of cared and replanted, but went from Grosse Pointe just how many like yards back, tree lined. It felt cooler there because of the trees.
Connor Street.
Whoa, what's this? Gas. Connor Street. Oh man. Go on, dude. So now it's a flashing light. The light's working, but it's flashing. A flashing stoplight in what probably used to be a really busy intersection. So I'm at Connors Creek Pumping Station. It seemed to be some kind of fuel processing, refining. I don't know what that is. I saw fuel holding tanks to the right. This is a Chrysler job here. It's a Chrysler plant. Assembly. So Chrysler Assembly. I wonder what they're assembling there. It'd be nice if they put signs outside. So you know, like, oh man, that's so cool. They're assembling the, I don't know, Chrysler PT Cruiser. I have no idea. I have no idea. I can see downtown Detroit not too far away. And by a riverside marina. Gas Dock Banquet Hall. Doesn't look that impressive. Now I'm just reminded of Buffalo. Oh, that's cool. I just passed this place called Legends Grill. It looks really clean. There's a bunch of cars outside. Like, look, make it and people will come. Not to sound like that stupid Kevin Costner Field of Dreams movie. Reminded of that, I'm terrible with names and whatnot, but there's that philosophy that started, I think it was by a police commissioner, who worked with some academics, I believe. That philosophy that if you get rid of the broken windows, something, I think it was called broken, whatever, if you clean things up and you don't let broken windows happen, or you repair them and you just don't let that happen, crime will go down. And what else was that? Oh, I totally drew a blank. Look at all this beautiful architecture. Cadillac Boulevard. Look at that. This really cool memorial gate is passed. Oh, the concept of just detritus. So if you're walking down the street and it's clean, you're less likely, even with gum, like gum ground on the sidewalk, you're less likely to throw something down. As soon as someone sees a cigarette butt or a piece of garbage, garbage attracts garbage, like attracts like, right? Trouble. So just employing that philosophy, I know that was employed in New York, that really helped clean up the city and take down crime rates just because of that philosophy. no broken windows. Clean up your garbage. I remember when I was living in Jamestown, it was a cross street, 41 cross street. It was a crack neighborhood. It's like, what can I afford? And I went, I helped, it was a rental, but I painted the inside, I did a few minor improvements, and I was gardening, so there used to be a garden, so I took it over, and the landlord seemed really thrilled. And I noticed over a short amount of time, I noticed flowers across the street. I got to know one of my neighbors. He was a cool guy. I'm sure he was a drug dealer, but it doesn't matter. He was nice. This guy was Chili. His nickname was Chili. And we used to kind of banter, he'd stop by, we'd chat. And it was cool because, I was in kind of a rough neighborhood, but I knew him, I was cool, he got my back. And all I did was plant a garden and we talked. It was great, and just to see people planting flowers across the street, it was super cool. And that's when I was how old? 19? Pretty cool. This is interesante, muy interesante. At least I'm by cars. I've been seeing some shady characters. What I thought I saw a drug deal going on, but I never make assumptions, I guess. My favorite, let's just walk in the middle of the street. Guys, not even using a crosswalk, just in the middle of the street. Oop. Why not? Why the hell not? Building. I guess one thing I always like to say is just don't be an asshole. It's hard to do that sometimes. I'm not an angel, but just don't be an asshole. I can really see downtown Detroit now. Belle Isle Park is immediately to my left. This chick looks interesting. Go to Belle Isle, but I've been there a few times.
Drive in 2 miles.
Well, that's nice. I just saw some white kids wearing running gear. Looks like they're running across to Belle Isle. It's kind of cool. Runners seem to have no fear. I noticed that in New York. You run, you go, and you run. When I started running this past January, I have been able to connect to Manhattan in ways I never knew. I'd run to where I wanted to start, quote unquote, running, but it was the process of just leaving my apartment. I'd start running, and I tried different ways, and I'd feel the city differently. You get to explore a lot more running, which goes back to that concept of drifting and just walking and drifting and being and seeing and being open. At least that's to me. Anytime I just kind of set out to go out, you got to open your eyes and look around. You just want to be aware of where you're going. Take your freaking headphones out of your ears and listen and be aware and smell and see. So that's for your safety, but it's also for just to be there, to have the actual experience of your life as you're going through your life. So now I'm really starting, I can see the Renaissance Center, so I'm basically in downtown. So like I said, I'm going to go through downtown and then I'll get to the, is that technically the west side of Detroit, even though it's, why do they call it the west side when it's more of the south side? But whatever. I'll head up to the Kunsthal. It's 12:39 according to this clock. There's another French street, Dubois, and Jefferson East. It's so funny, it's just like this big fuck you phallic symbol of the Renaissance Center downtown. It's like, there's all these low buildings, which always fascinated me too about Detroit. Like, Detroit's supposedly a city, but it's all these low, like 1 to 2 story buildings. So talk about a waste of space, and how American is that, just to be like, I can take as much space as I want, and I need my 5,000 square foot home, excuse me. So there's this big fuck you Renaissance Center. And I don't know. I don't think it fits in here. It doesn't.
Approaching right turn on Chrysler Drive, followed by freeway entrance on the left.
Alright, here is the Renaissance Center. And I just had to make a hard stop. Whoop. Here's a pretty church of Detroit, and then I see the ugly Renaissance Center. Like, who were the architects that did that? And look at the shitty pavement. Like, look at the pavement's all just this, you can hear it, patchwork. This is one way. That's a weird intersection. Look at this. It's all this unkempt, unmowed median here, and there's the Renaissance Center. Ooh. Alright, I want to stay on Jefferson. It's trying to take me to the Lodge, which I know will take me to the to the Kunsthal. Okay, cool, Oyster Bar. So this is cool. My 2 days in Detroit, especially Friday, like I did so much driving in the same area. Like I really have a better understanding of the roadways here, which, I mean, that's Detroit's driving. And all the streets, so many streets named after cars or companies.
On the right end, 0.5 miles.
So here's downtown. Downtown. There's Woodward Avenue. Woohoo! Maybe I should circle back to Woodward. No, that's Longfellow. Wait, what's this? Crap. Jefferson Avenue. So I'm going underneath of some ugly building here. Again, who are these architects, dude? Reminding me of going to Miami. When I went to Miami, I was so unimpressed. It was just a couple big buildings downtown. Like, you need to go to the beach to see that, right? So South Beach, yeah, that's cool and cute, and it has its history, slowly built up from like the 1920s. But like this, it's so unimpressive. So, what is this here? I've never been here. Office buildings. Of course, it's totally effing dead. There's the bridge to Canada. I can see the bridge. I'm came back by the water. Here's the Detroit River.
Calculating route.
And this is just looking kind of bleh.
Approaching right turn, followed by a right turn.
8th and Jefferson. Just there's this huge empty lot which looks like it's newly turned dirt. This is huge, right on the river. Hi, beautiful Canada.
Calculating route.
So someone's doing something. 10th Street. I'm super close to the Kunsthal, so 2.5 miles. Did I see Rosa Parks Boulevard? I've passed that street so many times.
Slight right turn on Rosa Parks Boulevard.
Oh, there's Jefferson West. I don't feel like... What am I doing?
Slight left turn on Grand River Avenue in 1.7 miles.
So it all goes back to Rosa Parks Boulevard. I was going to go on Jefferson West, and I have to admit I just chickened out. If I was with someone in the car, I would go, but that looked fucking creepy. And it's kind of in an old industrial area down here, really close to the Ambassador Bridge. Wow. So Rosa Parks Boulevard, there's a bike lane. Detroit Public Safety Academy. Huh. I think I'm going to start joking that all roads, hey look, there's the abandoned train station, legend. All things lead back to Warren and Grand River Avenue. The Kunsthal has become my new heart of Detroit. So funny. So this is cool. There's somebody walking there. Husky, a Siberian husky, poor thing, it must be so hot, and another a little black dog. If it matters, she's white. But like, how cool is that? They're out on their walk, doing their thing. A nice little tree-lined street, looked cool. The houses looked like they were actually houses. Same thing, like houses. I don't see any burnt down here. Here's Michigan Avenue. Classic. Here's a white guy crossing the street. Hey, dude. So this is cool. I was here on Friday with Shani and Yara. And we totally enjoyed ourselves. We went to have lunch and then a coffee, and Yara was doing some, data-related stuff. File-related, dealing with Apple's cloud. But we had such a cool time. I got to go to the train station. Shani took a picture of me, because I asked her to. And I was just like, if my mom could see me doing this, she'd be so like, oh my god, this is so dangerous. And you know what? It was fine. But I have to say still, I'd like to be with someone if I'm going to do some kind of crazy shit. That's a weird-ass street. There's a weird merge that's on the wrong side of the street. Where are you? Oh, right. God. So I'm crossing 75, super close to the Kunsthal. There just seemed to be what looked like an old drag queen riding a bicycle going past. Here's some hipster white kids. They totally look like hipsters. I think they're part of the drift. They must be part of the drift. Listen to me, I'm such a bitch. It's hipster. Oh, pardon me. Alright, I'm in this kind of sketchy part now, and there's just a sign that read, "To the casino." Isn't your money spent better elsewhere?
Slight left turn on Grand River Avenue in 0.5 miles.
This is good timing because I've been drinking water and I have to pee. Oh, Rosa Parks meets Martin Luther King Jr. Road or Boulevard. So back to history. What about the history? And forget the car history, like, God, that's ad nauseum here with all these places like Chrysler Boulevard. But, like, what about the French history? And I know there's Hamtramck, but huge immigration population here. Like, everyone in my family is from Eastern Europe. That's, it would be my great-grandparents. So this is Grand River. I need to make my slight left turn. Like, why not name a street after another people that had some history and, like, spread the wealth? I noticed that naming streets, I guess that would be appeasing me, right? But there's a lot of appeasement that happens when you rename a street. It's like the Triborough Bridge is now the RFK Bridge. Like, really? What?
On the left in 0.5
about
miles.
Just letting it be called the Triborough Bridge, because then you understand it's the Triborough Bridge. You understand what it does and where it is. Going back to a sense of place, like North Main Street. Oh, I know I'm going north, but that's me. Don't make it personal. So now I'm on 14th and Grand River. What is this, a GRCC there? I know there's this Grand River kind of art thing here. My cousin told me about it, and it's visible right here. There's some really cool graffiti. I forget what the GRCC stands for. God, I feel like this is my neighborhood. I was here in April, then back again this week, and I have a pretty good idea where stuff is. Like, I get it. It's kind of cool.
Approaching destination on the left.
I have to find my parking space. Oh, I'm gonna go this way. I hope people are at the Kunsthal, because, well, I just get in my car and leave, and maybe I pee in the middle of this field, because why not? This is weird. There's some cars parked in this building. Oh, it's a house. That's right.
Calculating route. Approaching right turn, followed by a right turn.
Yeah, I think I see Peter's car. Or maybe not. I know he's driving a red car.
Right turn.
That's not. Alright, well, I'm going to shut this off now. I just got to, is this 17th and Warren? By the Kunsthal. Maybe I'll just knock on some doors and see what happens. So, that's it, man.